Mr. Getmore187 simply says, thanks. I appreciate that. And so does Turner Sears. As a reminder, folks, if you send in a super thanks, we will give you some love on the show. Super chats will shout you out during it as well. Every $5 super thanks or super chat does get you entered into our weekly raffle. And we had a very, very long super thanks from Jaden Blueburner. I won't put the entire question on screen because it would have been really long and time consuming. I will link to the comment though in the description of today's show if you want to go check out fully what Jaden Bluesburner said. I want to put this part on because he says Donovan Wilson is a dog, plays hard, but he's a guy that is a blind dog in a meat house. So I thought that was super funny. Just a lot of venting frustration. A lot of it was spot on, by the way, as well. So did want to give you some love, Jaden Blueburner, and I feel your pain. CJ DeYoung III, $5. Thanks, he says. I told everyone to settle down after the Jets win. Told you to play a complete NFL team, results would be different. Team's a joke, ownership is a joke, and the delusional fans who year after year think we're going to win the Super Bowl are a joke. Thanks. Record, I did not think you were going to be a Super Bowl team. People got mad at me for saying Kenneth Murray was not good, and he's the exact guy he's been over the course of his career. Go figure. My biggest problem with this is the Panthers are not a complete team. They're not, and they still beat you because one half of your team is so incomplete, it ruins everything on that for the entire team because one side of the ball sucks so much. Foxtrot Gaming says the NFL seriously needs to start an investigation into Eberflus. No one on this planet can be this dumb to see their defensive scheme is bad. I have a feeling someone is paying him under the table to throw games purposely because with the right scheme, this is a Super Bowl caliber team. So fly in the face of what TJ said. I don't know if this is the denial or the bargaining stage of grief, but we're in one of them. It's not happening because the Cowboys, they're paying him over $1 million per year. You're not getting enough to fix games at that level. It doesn't make any sense. Remember, is Occam's razor? Let me do this on the fly. Yeah, Occam's razor is, when in doubt, essentially, just go with the theory that is the simplest one. And the simplest one is they're actually just bad. Not there's a conspiracy from somebody to throw games where the Cowboys are actually okay against the spread this year. That's what that means. They're just not good at it. And also, never underestimate ego in the NFL. My scheme isn't the issue. Coaches do this all the time. They always say, hey, I want to, fit the scheme to my players. Matt Eberflus is very clearly not doing that. He's not. You're got Donovan Wilson playing deep safety coverage. Your corners won't want to play man. No one else does. You're playing zone. He's being a bit ego, I think. Who do you blame the most for the issues just overall? C for the coaches, F for the front office, P for players. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. C for the coaches, F for the front office, P for the players. From Wyatt Proctor, thanks. I think this Cowboys defense can only get better with players coming back from injury. And I do think this team can make a deep run in the playoffs if we can gain momentum. This came in before the Panthers loss. Would like to acknowledge that. I guess they didn't get better against the Panthers. Reasonable optimism, emphasis on the optimism side, just didn't go the way any of us really wanted to go in the end. From Kent, can you hire someone from college to replace Eberflus midseason? Can? Yes. Will? No. You're not going to find a good coordinator because they're all playoff teams essentially to leave their team midseason, come over, install a brand new defense to 30 odd guys you've never met before in your life. Maybe one or two of the defensive guys. You don't see coordinators get brought in outside the organization hardly ever. That's so much change. You can't realistically install an entirely new defense in the middle of a season. So you're just not going to be able to pull it off in the end. Can, yes, but realistically, no. William Cook, $5, says, I appreciate your efforts every week, but I need some time away. The coach is not good. The scheme is not good. The players, and more important, the GM is the worst. I understand the frustration. It's not fun Like, your offense is playing well. Not the run offense was bad last week, but they've been good overall this season. I'll give them a bad game and not freak out yet. But like the defense has been consistently trash every single week. And I don't expect the front office anything other than like we like our guys, but it's annoying when they keep acting like they like their guys. We'll be here every day, bringing you the latest Cowboys news, rumors, updates, watch parties. We will have multiple videos each and every single week for you. So do not miss out. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/CowboysTV. Jabril says, trade Eberflus for Aaron Glenn. You might get to in the offseason, which I actually would be on board with. Glenn wants to play man. I think the Jets' crux of their issues are probably more offensively focused, and maybe he's just not going to be a great head coach. It is early for Glenn, though. But I would give them a shot, right? I think that'd be an upgrade. Jets would fire Glenn in this scenario, of course. Nate Snyder, bulletproof defense fix. All right. Sign Jabril Cox, Caleb Farley, Neville Gallimore, and wrap the bow up with Nate Thomas. Thank me later, Tom. Appreciate it, Nate. It's funny. It's very funny. Remember, Neville Gallimore got cut by 2 teams, then was playing good with the Rams. It was really weird. I think he's with the Colts right now. I think. Jabril Cox is quickly out of the NFL. Cowboys love those athletic linebackers who just can't instinct their way out of a wet paper bag. It's football. Gamble on the upside with the athletic traits. Working for Overshown when he's healthy, but that's how it goes. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. They are the only app that offers stacks, so you pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. What do you want, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels? You should do Jaden Daniels more than passing yards, rush yards, and touchdowns against the Cowboys this upcoming week. That is a no-brainer idea. You also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app. Copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a partner, or someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab. One Prize Picks lineup coming up this week. Miller Moss, less than passing yards against the Hurricanes, although Miami might be on upset alert that game. Cam Little, more than kicking points against the Rams. The Jags can falter sometimes near the end zone. And Travis Hunter, touchdown in that one. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Cooper, what about Matt Patricia? He's cooking, actually, for Ohio State. I'm wildly impressed with what he's done with the Buckeyes. I kind of wonder if he doesn't want to leave. And honestly, I would argue Ohio State defensive coordinator probably pays more. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm sure it does. It has more job security, might honestly be a better job than the Cowboys defensive coordinator get. Because if you take the Cowboys DC job, you got 2 or 3 years and you might get fired. I think there's more job security with Ohio State. Matt Temple, the body cannot be sound when the head is lost. If you want to go back on NFL Pro and look at the how your linebackers are fitting and filling the run, the head is lost. They don't know where they're supposed to be. The motion gets them. There was one play of it's classic Cowboys, man. Motion comes across the screen. Shamar James flies that way, and it's a run the other way. They don't even fake it to the guy. It's just jet motion. He's young. He's inexperienced. It might get better. I hope it gets better. But Kenneth Murray also was lost, and he's been in the league for like 7 years now. It's just not going to get better at this point. It's not. Cowboy Carson. Cowboys need to trade for a defensive end, a linebacker, a corner, and a safety at the deadline. Can you do that? Like realistically, can you get the level of player required via the trade market at all of those different spots and not overpay and screw yourself long term? I don't know if you can. So I think those are all needs, but I don't know if you can. So should the Cowboys be buyers at the trade deadline? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Drew DTX, happy birthday, Jerry. You're 2, 3, and 1. This is filmed on our Monday live show, which was Jerry's birthday, by the way. Your defense is garbage. You've only had Taco and Randy Gregory. Or was that Steven's fault? SMD, Jerry. which is quite funny because normally you see SMDH, but it's funny. It's funny. Look, honestly, we might do it, maybe during the bye week we'll do it. Your defensive misses in the draft have been startlingly bad. Like, that is what has really hurt you over the last couple of years. Like, you should be getting impact play from these young defenders you're drafting early, and you're really not. You probably let Dan Quinn have too much influence there. But, I mean, outside of DeRon Bland in 2022, your top 130 picks have been Sam Williams, Junior Fayoko, Mozzie Smith, Kelvin Joseph, Chauncey Golston, Deshaun Wright, Osa, Marshawn Nealand, Leafau, Revel, and Ezeraku. That's a lot of misses on there. Makes it really hard to win games. Nate Snyder says, F it, send a first for Kyle Hamilton. I don't think, it's funny, but I get it. He's awesome. I actually don't know if I can trade my first round pick. Like, that might be top 10. And I don't want to trade a top 10 pick. Like, I'm going to need that pick to either trade down, get a good young player, get more assets. Hamilton's awesome. You know, if you get to that pick, like, I want to know where I'm picking before I trade that first round pick. And then I'm open to, considering it. Matt Eberflus, although he couldn't spell curse right, which is pretty funny. Or maybe he did. I don't know. Who cares? Trade for Quinnen Williams. I don't know if DT is what you need. I don't think Kenny Clark or Osa have played very well, at least not the last couple of weeks. They were better earlier in the year. Again, I wonder if it's a trickle-down effect from your passing defense being so bad. But you're going to commit, and pull this up here on the fly real quick. Osa in cash is due, let me pull this up here on the fly, is due a little under $17 million next season. Kenny Clark in cash is due about $21.5 million. And then Quinnen Williams next year in cash is due about, it's 2026, 21.75. You can't spend $60 million in cash on defensive tackles. Like, that's not feasible. You're going to have to cut somebody. And then in that case, why are you trading for another one if you just cut somebody? It's not really a great plan. Name a player who you want to trade for. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Who do you want to trade for? From Rogue, how do you feel about Texas Longhorns DC for next year? So that's Pete Kwiatkowski. I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but Pete K has only been a college guy. He's also going to be 60 next year. So I think he's just a college guy. He's been good. Don't get me wrong. Actually, I do like him, but I don't think adding a college-only guy, jump into the NFL with no real experience with Schottenheimer, never done it in the NFL, that's probably not the path I want to pursue. He does do some of the fun 3-3-5 stuff, which I like, but that might be more of a college thing anyway. Tim Hoover, why not fire Eberflus and give one of his assistants a chance? Couldn't be any worse. That's where I'm at this point. Like, I'm done trying. Like, they're not. They know they have issues and they're not properly trying to fix them. Like, they're not like actually changing things. Like, it's just kind of like, we know best, and like, do you actually though? Like, I don't know if that's really a good path. Like, that's what I would do. I don't know if the Cowboys would consider it. Just frustrating. Ecuador man, why give prime assets for a lost season? I don't get it. And that's where I'm at. Look, we can and should reevaluate in 2 weeks. Get through the Commanders game, get through the Broncos game. That's going into trade deadline, week timeline. You got a week away at that point on that Tuesday. Then see where you're at. But I'm not flipping my 1 or my 2 right now when I don't think the player you get fixes your entire defense right now. That might be more of a big overhaul in the offseason type of plan.